I'm Amber Davies and welcome to Call to Stage. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in.
Hello. Oh my goodness! I know. I saw you. How are you doing?
Oh my god, I texted
This is
him
Amber.
yesterday.
I'm glad I'm here for this moment.
Lovely.
Amber is
See you. So
incredibly talented.
Oh, stop that.
It's true.
I want to hear everything.
Yeah,
No.
she knows every. You know, she's like 8 shows a week knockout. Get ready.
I do try.
We're amongst. Yeah.
What do you mean? You mean you do theatre and
I
you
do
act and
theatre,
sing?
so I'm here to represent the musical theatre community.
Yeah, we say hello through you and to you and by you. What shows have you done? What musicals have you done?
I've just finished Pretty Woman, however, I've got questions to ask you two.
Okay, well after put a bookmark there, and afterwards I have many.
Yes, we can sing
9 to
together.
5. I'm gonna go to your Back to the Future.
Oh my gosh,
I
Johnny.
saw-
She's
Wait.
amazing.
Wait a minute.
Stop.
She's got
In
4
London, you did
belts.
Back to the Future?
I did.
I saw it.
Then you would have
I took the kids, Emily and I went to see Back to the Future. Wait a minute, you played.
Lorraine Baines.
You were fantastic.
Thank you.
We saw you.
Thank you
and,
so
and then
much.
did we came backstage and the whole.
Jeff, I've got 4 minutes here,
Okay,
okay?
come on.
Please, okay.
Okay.
You really understood the assignment here. It was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Well, it means a lot coming from you.
Did you do anything specific to tap into Fiyero?
Just getting those boots on and getting the toupee fixed was all it took.
All it took, and you were
but
right.
But you know what it's like. It's a lot of you to put in loads of work. and
Yeah.
Working with a choreographer was amazing, and I think understanding what the Dancing Through Life sequence was going to be to make sense of it was part. That was the sort of formative. Bit,
Yeah.
Like, working
Well,
with who
you
was.
nailed it.
Thank you very much.
No one could have played that part better than you, and I'm telling you that now.
Oh well.
You're amazing.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Jeff, you've done a fair few films in your life, haven't you?
Well, here and there.
A few.
Yeah.
What is your top tip for an actor when acting in front of a screen?
When acting in front of a screen, which we didn't do much on this because Nathan Crowley's sets were really there, and that helped a lot. But in acting in front of a screen, I'll bet you did.
Do you mean on screen?
Yes, on screen.
Yeah, as
On
in front
screen.
of the camera.
Yeah, in front of a camera.
camera.
Yeah.
I thought you in front of a green screen. You
No.
meant. Oh no.
He's experienced it all.
Okay.
Do I have any tips for acting?
Just
on
one
cam-
tip.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
cam- one tip.
Think
Oh
about
my
it.
gosh. How do you boil it down? But understand the piece, make the piece more important than yourself, understand how you can contribute best to telling the whole story.
When the
then-
camera comes right in for a close-up, what do you think?
Well,
How do you prepare for that?
still, it's the acting on stage or any place is the same. It's living truthfully under imaginary circumstances, as my teacher would say. So you're doing that, no matter whether you're doing it for the audience or here. Although I like to know what the camera's kind of doing, and probably what you're getting at, and what we should highlight maybe is you can't overact on the inside. But maybe, especially when you're close, you want to be
Sotto voce.
just conservative.
Yes.
And subtle
Yeah.
on the outside, maybe.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, do you know what? This is what I want. We have heard Cynthia Erivo's end of Defying Gravity.
Right.
What would be your two's interpretation?
What's your final?
What I'm asking, Jeff, please sing for me.
You're asking to sing?
What's your
I
end
know
of
you
Defying
love
Gravity?
to sing.
What's my what, Defying Gravity?
The end final bar of how if you were to play.
Oh.
Elphaba.
Cut. That's it. We can cut that
That
into the
was
movie.
heaven, yes.
That was great. Okay. You go.
Jonathan, what would your...
Oh, you go.
Might be like wah 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 wah.
Hey, he's using the mute. He's using that mute. Fantastic.
I love that. I love that.
Let's hear it. Go
I
ahead.
am not, but I will
play
give...
Alphabet at one point.
I think I'm more of a Glinda.
Yes, fair enough. Well, you could do both. Some people can do both.
I-
yeah.
Popular. You want
Do you know what I did want to do for you, though?
Go on.
Toss,
The hair for
toss.
it. Oh, that's heaven. Yeah.
I'm coming. I'll be in the first row. I'll be in the first show. I want to see you do
I haven't
that.
seen your toss for a while.
Yeah, toss, toss.
Yeah, toss. Toss.
Effortless.
Huh?
Effortless, stunning.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you both so much.
Hi.
I'm here to rep the MT girlie.
Lovely.
I'm just going to put this here.
Sorry, it's one second.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh my gosh, sorry, today's a massive day for my family because my sister's second cover, Elphaba.
Yes.
And she's playing her today.
Oh my goodness.
So I feel really overwhelmed right now. I'm just sitting
Oh my
here with you two.
God.
So
That's
thank you
so cosmic.
much.
Wow.
Break a leg. Have a
Please.
beautiful
I will, I'll
show.
Tell her
I'll
we send her
tell her.
so much love and so much luck.
Thank you.
She'll
Thank
be
you so
she'll be
much.
beautiful.
Now you two
You're
put
so sweet.
your
I
heart and
know.
souls into this film. And I feel like the whole musical theatre industry has come together to celebrate two exceptional women. And it is so unbelievably deserved because what you've done is just otherworldly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ariana, working with an award-winning storyteller, what is the most valuable lesson you have gained from working opposite Cynthia Erivo?
Oh my goodness. I mean, other than just being so in awe of her every day, I mean, you can't imagine, as brilliant as she is in the film, watching her work in person and being this close and having her naked voice in my ears every day was the greatest gift of this experience. And getting to spend a year and a half or longer even holding her beautiful green hands and seeing the story in her eyes this close, you know, was such an incredible gift. And I think as brilliant as you are as a performer, it's nothing compared to how you are as a person and how you take care of people and others and how you worry about everyone. And she's just the most maternal, best caretaker. I don't know. I mean, the list is very long.
I can imagine. I can only imagine.
The list is very long, but it was a real gift
I
to
want to look at you.
be able to do this with her.
Can I please say that it was I can't do what I do without having Ariana
Yeah.
look back at me, you know?
Yeah, they say that you're only as good as the person standing next to you.
Yeah. So what you receive is because of what I receive.
Yeah.
The tennis match that we played honestly,
Thank
you know what I mean? And you're the most open person I've ever worked with. Just so open and willing and generous and kind. So I worked with you as well. You know, I worked with the Ariana Grande. And that was a pleasure.
Thank you. God, I feel
Pleasure
like
and
I'm
joy,
gonna
you
cry.
understand?
Here we go.
We did good, kid.
You didn't do good. You did unbelievable.
Here we go again.
no.
I love you. Thank you. That's
You know,
really
for the
kind.
empty girlies.
Yes,
So,
it really
they get
is.
it.
I tell you what, I'm going to ask you one of my favourite questions.
Yeah.
And that is, thank you on behalf of the world for the extra vocal options you both did. Okay? Yeah. What would be your favourite, like, Cynthia sparkle and your favourite Ariana sparkle?
Oh my God.
One.
I'm not that girl. When she's sitting on the bench and she does the full scale.
Ah, yes, that is mine. That
It's
is mine
insane.
too.
I mean, obviously the more obvious ones as well, but that one is just so subtle and beautiful and intentional and effortless. It just falls out.
For me, it's the tag that they added on Popular. You'll be popular. I just think it's
Thank you.
beautiful.
You've just made my entire
That's gonna be
life
my
easier.
chest tone now.
That is very special.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so, so much. You've both been a dream come true.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Could I be
wonderful.
really cheeky and ask for a selfie?
Yes, you
Yes.
can.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're lovely.
You have to be in the middle.
Come to the
We
middle.
call this a sandwich.
I can't believe how much I was shaking at the start.
No
I'm
need to
sorry.
shake it
Honestly.
all. Thank you so much. Here we go.
Break a leg to your sister.
My
Please.
sister now's been painted green.
Oh
my goodness.
That's
Wish
so
her love and luck.
Family.
That's
My
so
goodness.
cosmic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to me. And You've created, I'd say, and the industry would say, the best movie musical in the history of movie musicals.
That's very nice.
Now, Jon, it all started for you when your mum gifted you a video camera.
Yes.
I want to know, was there a specific moment in your life where you thought, I'm born to do this, I'm born to be a director?
Yes. First of all, she didn't gift it to me. She handed it to me and said, carry this camera when we're on vacation. And I think the moment was when I took that footage and I looked through that lens. And the way people looked at me was different. They wanted me to be around, not just my family, but random strangers and my friends at school. And it felt like I could see it through a new eye. It felt like a mask in a weird way. And when I took that footage and cut it together to music and showed my parents, and they started to cry when they watched it, I knew there was something powerful here that I didn't have in my normal life.
Yeah.
That the lens was able to bring people with me into what my thoughts were, even if they didn't know it was my thoughts. And I loved that.
You are magical, magical, magical.
Thank you.
You've told the story where you invited Ariana back into the room and you advised her to come back as a more of a blank canvas, you know, less makeup.
Yeah.
What was different for you when she came back the second time?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily even about less makeup. I just said, just take off the Ariana Grande a little bit.
Yeah.
There was two things I wanted to see. One, is she willing to do that? Because some people who are caught in their image could feel too vulnerable to come in as a different thing. She did that. I mean, she came in it. She looked like a totally different person. I also wanted to see what it felt like for us to see her differently.
Yeah.
I saw her in the first audition acting differently, and I was like, there's something happening here. And when she came in the second time, she was totally transformed.
Wow.
And she just kept impressing us. She just was funny. She was digging into deep ideas about what it means to be popular when you're struggling inside, how exhausting that could be, and your insecurities in that. And we knew that these were some of the things we wanted to tug and pull at in this movie. But she understood it at a visceral level, and that was really compelling.
Amazing. Talking about auditions.
Yes.
From someone who's in the industry, I wanted to have the opportunity to ask,
Yes.
what is the most employable quality someone can have in an audition?
Choices.
Choices.
Specific choices. One, not every role is for you. And that doesn't mean that you're not good enough for that role. We have so many great Glindas and so many great Elphabas.
I can imagine.
But there are random reasons why things happen the way they are. And I think the story chooses you, or at some point the production and you is a marriage, and both parties have to come together.
Yeah.
But that can't shy you away from strong choices, because the only way we know if you're bringing an element to this, if you're adding value to this, is that you're making choices that aren't just things that I could think of in my head. If I can just I've imagined you, then there's nothing to be made. I could literally and in the future I could just AI you, who knows?
Yeah.
But when someone comes in a way that is unlike anything we've seen, making choices that we didn't think of, that is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm noting that as an
Yes.
actress myself.
Good.
Massive special mention to Christopher Scott.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
choreography brought me to tears multiple times.
Yes.
I just wanted to know what your relationship was like working with each other. Were you part of the rehearsing process, or did he come to you with a finished product?
We go back and forth. We know each other very well. It's been a 15-year relationship of trying things, failing at things, conquering things. We've tried all different genres with music and dance. What I love about Chris is that he employs such different movement, modern styles and classic styles, all sort of mixed, and it's not separate. He gives as much respect to breaking as he does to ballet and jazz, and to me, that is the new language, because the movements that are happening out there are part of how we see things now. So I love that he does it. He builds a great team. He always builds a great team. He's very collaborative. I'll usually come up with some sort of concept for it, and he will as well. And I'll present to him what I think the concept, and he'll present to his, and we'll pick the best parts, or we'll say, you know what, yes, that's not right, but this part is right. And then I may have images in my head. I'm like, okay, this turning wheel thing is what I had. Oh, well, I have this image of it. And then he goes off, and I let him have some room. And he just does, with a skeleton crew, just some movement. And he just starts to do things. And then I come into rehearsal, or he videos it on his iPhone, and I start to see just these little pops of movement, and I'll be drawn to something. I'll think, oh, I like that, and the
Yeah.
specificity of this, and we'll just start building it slowly but surely. And so that's our process, and then he'll start to build it more, and he'll get more structure to it. And then Alice, our cinematographer, will come in, who we've worked with also for 20 years, and we'll start shooting it a little bit. And everything just keeps getting shifted and adjusted. Production design, costume will all be involved. And so it is a iterative process that we have to trust each other. But if there's anything that we could have thought of from the very beginning and executed, it's almost never good enough. It's always something that comes from something that happens, or the dancer, or the set, that something magical has to happen. That's what we try to capture.
Constant discovery.
Constant discovery.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. Okay, guys, I can't even describe the afternoon that I've had. I haven't seen any of the footage yet, so I'm just coming in raw, straight from meeting them. It was one of the best experiences of my entire life, and I feel so grateful and lucky. Why do I feel like I'm going to cry? It's so weird. To bring you guys this content. I've seen the film twice, and I completely fell in love with it, and I think it's really, really special because my sister's on tour with Wicked right now. She's second cover Elphaba. Today, the day that I filmed with the cast of the movie, she is playing Elphaba. And although it breaks my heart that I'm not getting to see her, she said to me that she'd never ever forgive me if I didn't take this opportunity. And the fact that I mentioned it to everyone, and they were just so kind, so wonderful. So I think they understood, especially when I went in to see Cynthia and Ari, I was quite emotional, but I was also so emotional because I've been a fan of Wicked for over a decade. I've seen multiple Elphabas. I've had friends and good friends going in and out of the show, and I feel like they've just took such great care when filming the movie. We've literally seen so many incredible women passing the Elphaba baton to each other and the Glinda baton to each other. And I just feel so happy that Cynthia and Ariana took such great care of Elphaba and Glinda, and their portrayal of Elphaba and Glinda is next level. I literally called my mum and I said there were so many moments throughout the film where I was questioning, are they acting? Because it felt so real, and you could like see them looking deep into each other's eyes, and it was like raw, genuine emotion. And I just think they deserve to be celebrated so much because they've just done an incredible job. Jeff Goldblum, I watched quite a lot of his interviews before going in, so I kind of knew what I was letting myself in for, but he was just hysterical. And I can't believe I just sat down with the Wizard of Oz. Like, that's so cool. And Jonathan Bailey surprised me so much. He knew the jobs I'd done, and I was quite taken back. I was like, how do you know this? But I forget that he's an MT boy himself. And I mean, he's just painfully handsome. And those two made me feel so incredibly comfortable. And I had like a really, really good laugh with them. Bearing in mind, guys, I literally had 4 minutes to interview the 3 sections. 4 minutes is like, and it's gone, especially when your heart is beating really quick. And then I found Jon M really amazing to talk to, and I really wanted to get the most out of that interview, especially as a performer myself, and I'm sitting there interviewing a director. That's why I asked him what is the most employable quality when auditioning. And it was so funny because I don't think this was caught on camera, but as I was leaving the room, I turned to him and I said, you never know, John, you might be auditioning me one day. I thought, I'm just going to push my luck. And then he said to me, that's what I was going to say. He also recorded a video for my sister to say good luck, which I just thought was so kind and generous. And anyway, as I was walking out, and I turned to Jon and I said, you never know, I might be auditioning for you one day. He said, and he said, and I will remind you that we filmed that video for your sister. And it was just like a really lovely moment. But yeah, my first junket, I thoroughly enjoyed, and it's definitely a day in the diary for the Davis sisters. Massive, huge, big, huge. The movie, let's just talk about the movie. So I saw it, I've seen it twice now. I saw it a week before the premiere because I knew that I was interviewing them. So it gave me time to work on my questions. And where do I even begin? I feel like they've elevated the story of Wicked in a way that is so classy, and it's like heartbreaking but mends your heart all at the same time. Cynthia and Ariana make some unbelievable choices vocally, and you know, when you're in town, you're doing it in town, you have to stick to the score. You're doing it 8 shows a week, where I think they had the freedom to kind of push those boundaries, and it was, I mean, hats off, unbelievable. When Cynthia sang for me, I was like, yes, that is what I wanted. And her voice just kind of like moved straight through me, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was the best moment of my life. I think the cast in general, no one else could have done a better job. It was cast to perfection. I think that for me, the 2 standouts was the animation. I've always been a massive Disney girl, so animation feels a little bit nostalgic to me. And you know, if I'm like super tired and I'm laying in bed and I don't want like a big watch, always throw an animation film on because it just makes you feel so good. So for me, I'm trying not to say things that is going to be a spoiler in case you haven't seen it yet, but the animation is next level. And they open the film, well, they start the overture on the film with a shot of an animation, and I sobbed. I literally sobbed my eyes out. And it was just, the way they did it was so real. Like, when you look at animation picture years and years ago, like, it's evolved so much. And it was just so real and really like touches your heart. You know, when you're looking at a lion cub, like a baby lion cub, it was so real. Even the way like Elphaba picked her up, or him, don't know if it was a male cub or a female cub, probably a female cub, picked her up, and then and the way Fiyero handled it. And the horse was real. We know the horse is real because Jonathan's spoken about Jackie's horse that he's had since Bridgerton. And the choreography, oh my gosh. Christopher Scott deserves the highest level of celebration. The choreography, even in the Wicked theatre production, has always been outstanding, like a high level, you know, of difficulty, and of the style, and everything is very unique. I loved the direction they took it in the film. There was a mixture of lots of different styles, but it was very... It felt, whilst I was watching it, I was like, I bet that feels so liberating to dance. And you know, for me, I mean, I've got to say a few mentions, because when you're sitting there, the first time I saw the film, I was sitting there by myself, sobbing. There was like loads of journalists around me because we were all the ones that were going to be interviewing the cast. I was like this. And like, I had this woman staring at me like, I was like, sorry, I'm so sorry. I just love it. When I was sitting there and I'm looking at the screen, they obviously filmed the film in London. A lot of industry people were used throughout the entire film. I've got to say a massive mention to Kirsty Shaw. We were in Erdang together. We had every single lesson together, and her face pops up on this giant screen, and I just bawled my eyes out. She literally has lines, and she speaks to Ariana, and I was like, you're unbelievable. And then I just spotted, during the dance numbers, I spotted so many Erdangers, so many industry people, Sam Salter, Will West, Ainsley Ricketts, Connor Tidman, all these people that I've, shared the Erdang Great Hall with, and it was just literally so magical. But I just feel like with the movie musicals, this has gone above and beyond. Even the way that Ariana and Cynthia have just taken such care of Elphaba and Glinda, with all the press that they've been doing, and they've been so emotional. Like I said to them, they put their heart and soul into it. They did not do it half-heartedly. And I think everyone in the industry can now all agree with one thing, and that is they deserve to be celebrated. And, well, let's see, is Cynthia going to win the Tony? Probably. She should anyway. Yeah, it's just a day that I'm never going to forget. Honestly, when I tell you, I am an emotional person, but when it comes to like a professional setting, I'm quite cutthroat, and I don't attach my emotions to anything I do professionally. And when I saw Cynthia and Ariana, I could not control myself. I think it's because I've just seen them do this incredible job, and they've worked so hard, and they were just sitting right there in front of me. And I lost my shit. And then when Ariana was answering my first question, I was saying to myself in my head, breathe, calm down. They're just normal human beings. And after that, I felt like I pulled myself together a little bit, which was nice. But it's so not like me to, cry, not in front of like two massive stars. That's so embarrassing, but never mind. And then because I'd watched so many interviews of Jeff Goldblum, I knew, right, I'm going to have to reel him in because he can go off on a tangent. And we've seen in another interview that Ariana said he sings all the time. So I thought, I'm going to get Jeff Goldblum to sing for me. That's why I wanted his rendition of Defying Gravity. And I've got to say, it wasn't a patch on Cynthia's, but it was a great option B. And it was actually really lovely because Jonathan and Jeff had a really gorgeous connection. I feel like we're focusing, and of course we're going to focus on Cynthia and Ariana and their connection. They love each other to pieces, and you can really feel that in the room. But Jonathan and Jeff were really bouncing off each other, and that was really kind of easy to join in with. I didn't feel intimidated or anything. And it was so funny because there was a strict rule, no personal pictures. And I was like, I'm not coming all this way. I literally went into Glam this morning. I got this gorgeous dress and these wonderful shoes. Look at them. So pretty. I am not going to ask for a selfie. So I was cheeky in every single room, and I said, just before I leave, can I please have a selfie? And everyone was like, oh my God, of course, get in. And Ariana wrapped her hands around my arm. And I was just like, best moment of my life. But yeah, my final review of Wicked would be best movie musical in the history of movie musicals. It was done with love. It was done with compassion. It was done with empathy. So much hard work. All of our London dancers and performers, we see you all. And I just, when I started this podcast, how many months ago now? Like so many months that I can't count. 10 months. James has given me 10. I never in a million years thought that I would have had the experience that I did today. So I feel entirely grateful and lucky. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. And thank you to James and everyone who made that happen. It was, one for the memory book. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Oh, also, I want to say quickly, if you were at my live show on Sunday, thank you so much for coming. I haven't done it yet, but I'm sure I had the most wonderful time. And I hope you loved my Natalie Paris surprise and my Ben Joyce surprise. I'm actually going to meet Natalie now to rehearse our song. So, thank you for watching. This is no doubt going to be my favourite episode ever. And, see you next week.